12 strong. More like 12 yarn. What up, my Nimians, and welcome back to Nim TV. I'm your host, Nimjump299, and we are back with another movie review. And you heard me right in that opening thing that I did. This is a boring movie. There's not much else I have to say about it. So it's a pretty typical, straightforward war movie. It's about a normal kind of war movie where it's oh, you gotta fight the bad guys and they have a goal to get and whatever. So that's fine. There's nothing necessarily wrong with the movie. There's just nothing right with the movie. You know what I mean? There's nothing that makes it a bad movie necessarily, but there's nothing that makes it a good movie either. It's just kind of there. It's we're just gonna be a typical run-of-the-mill war movie, and that's it. Now, I know there's probably going to be people out there who are oh, this is a great movie because it follows it's historically accurate or something like that. And maybe it was very historically accurate. I personally don't know. I didn't really research it to find out if it was. But, I don't think that matters, because, when you're adapting something to a movie, obviously this was based on a true story. When you're adapting something to a movie, you gotta think of what you can do to make it a good movie. The actual story, I think, behind the movie of what actually happened is a very kind of interesting story. It's about these 12 men who, went into they were some of the first respondents to Al-Qaeda after 9/11. They went into find the places where Al-Qaeda was and call in the airstrikes and stuff, and then they did some battles themselves. Now, there's a little interesting twist that happened is they weren't able to take any tanks or big military vehicles with them. All they had was horses, which does add a little bit of an interesting thing to it. So in real life, there was very few guys with horses fighting against these armies filled with tanks, right? That's the thing. And then against all odds, they beat them. At the end of the movie, there's this little thing of words about how it really happened, and they expected to take people expected this group to take 2 years to accomplish what they did in 3 weeks. That's impressive. That's really cool. It's a really good kind of story, basic story, right? But to make that into an interesting, good 2-hour movie, you have to add something to really make it stand out amongst the plethora of other war movies. And it really doesn't. I feel it might be somewhat accurate to how it really is to fight. It might be, I don't know, it might be accurate to things like that. I don't know. Again, I'm not a soldier. So I don't know who to recommend this to. I feel if you are a soldier, you will probably like the movie, because I think soldiers tend to like these more realistic war movies that get into the intensity of the war and stuff, these interesting war stories. And I think, if you're in general a huge fan of war movies, you'll probably like it fine. But as a common movie-going audience, there's nothing that kind of sets it apart from other war movies. So it just feels very run-of-the-mill. And that's really all I have to say about it. It's very run-of-the-mill. Nothing special about it. It's just kind of there. Chris Hemsworth is in it. He does fine. All the actors in this do fine. There's no standouts. Nobody does an amazing performance. People do passable performances. I thought all the performances were fine. They do a decent job. They act the part they were supposed to act just fine. But there's nothing that makes this movie stand out. That's how I would describe the whole movie. It's fine. But there's just nothing that stands out. And because of that, I found myself checking the time a lot during the movie, which I try not to do in movies. But if I'm checking the time a lot in a movie, it's boring. I was ready for the movie to end, and that's a sign of boredom. This movie, I think personally should have been like an hour and a half long. I feel like if it was an hour and a half long, if it was condensed a little bit more, I might have not been so bored and maybe enjoyed it more. Like, it just felt like it was drug out. It's a simple story that could have been told in like an hour and a half. It did not need to be 2 hours long. It just, I don't know, like they do this thing that a lot of war movies do, where they try to add character development, I guess, or like they try to make you invested in the characters by having them sit down and get to know each other. You have a couple characters who are like, hey, we're here just hanging out, being normal human beings to show that we're just a couple of normal guys. So that makes you care about us. But like, that's it. That's like all they do to make the characters interesting. They don't actually add any character depth. They just like show a few scenes of them just kind of hanging out, acting like normal people to make you go, oh, they're like normal people. They're just like us. I want them to survive. But like, they don't do anything more than that. That's like surface level character. That's like surface level characterization rather than like actually trying to add something interesting. There's no interesting character conflicts, but with characters. No inner conflicts or anything, which I think a good war movie should have some sort of, like, to me, the angle that a war movie should go to make it a good movie is some sort of inner conflict with a character. Something like Hacksaw Ridge, for instance, which I actually didn't see, so, I just know this based on the movie. The basic conflict within the character is like, oh, he doesn't want to fight. He's kind of more of a pacifist, or doesn't want to use a gun and kill people. But he's also going to war. How does that impact his character, I guess? Again, I haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge, so I don't know. But like, I know that that's the basic concept of the movie. So like, you at least have some sort of interesting character conflict. And I also know that a lot of people said it was a good movie, so there's that. But like, this movie, you don't have anything like that. Like, the characters want to complete the goal because they're soldiers and they want to help, fight back Al-Qaeda for 9/11. And yeah, that's great. But like, every soldier is like that. Every soldier, has that motivation, right? You know what I mean? Like what makes them more than just a regular soldier like every other soldier? I don't know. It just felt very run-of-the-mill, boring. Again, like I said, if you're in the military, you'll probably like it. If you like military movies, if you're like a huge military movie person, you might like it. I don't know. But as an average movie-going audience, it's not that great. It's just kind of, there's no real reason to see it. If you've seen any war movie, you've seen this movie, basically. So that is my review. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of the movie. Also, follow me on Twitter if you want, and you can support me on Patreon if you want. There's links in the description to both of those. And this is actually the first 2018 movie I've reviewed. I did a review on Lady Bird in 2018, but that's a 2017 movie. So this is the first time I've actually seen a 2018 movie. So this is the start of my 2018 movie reviews. So hopefully it'll go well. Hopefully we will have a lot of fun watching 2018 movies. And hopefully by the end of the year we will have seen a lot of good ones, not very many bad ones. This one, hopefully they get better than this one. This one, again, I said wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. But anyways, that's about all. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.